This feature is powered by the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, at the forefront of energy.
As the nation celebrates 60 years of resilience, renowned historian Dr. Rita Pemberton said Tobago's people have shown this quality in numerous ways.
Dr. Pemberton explained Tobagonians were determined to become independent in a key and critical area.
The objective was to establish themselves as independent, and the first step was to become a landowner. For many, it was a step-by-step process. There was a belief that owning the land gave you a credit, a piece, a right to have a say in the business of the island.
She noted, however, as a historian, she recognized gaining independence in 1962 was more so a political approach. However, resilience was shown as the country sought to find ways to sustain the economy.
When we got independence, we didn't then, and we don't have control over our resources. So we are heavily dependent on world movement for the prices of the commodities. The grim reality is that we have been learning lessons along the way.
Dr. Pemberton believes the community spirit that has existed in Tobago can play an integral part in treating with challenges. She also mentioned that though we celebrate 60 years of independence, there are still some elements of colonialism present throughout our society. But she says all is not lost and offered this advice.
Identify within yourself, who are you? 2, what do you want? 3, how do you get it? We have a pattern established for us already by our ancestors, and we can follow using that pattern of resistance, which means overcoming the obstacles that you see within yourself, being strong and confident as to who you are and what you want, and how could you get it given the conditions that prevail in the country.
Dr. Pemberton noted there has been and should continue to be a push for elevation. Well-known Tobago economist Dr. Vanish James has a similar thought. He noted that though political stalwarts began the efforts to push for economic resilience, the fight continues.
From 1889, when Tobago was appended to Trinidad, the effort was always there to set up the arrangements in such a way that Tobago would have a sufficient capacity on the ground to upgrade our institutions and take steps to develop our economy here.
Dr. James defined economic resilience as the capacity to withstand random shocks that dramatically alter the challenges of the competitive landscape in which Tobago operates and to pursue development. With an eye into the future, Dr. James identified 2 areas which will strengthen Tobago's economic resilience.
We have to build capital. The first critical thing we have to do is go after sufficient autonomy to make the laws and adjust the institutional arrangements through which we operate in Tobago. Here, the rule of law, the democratic framework, the opportunities for people to participate in the policy making. When we win autonomy, that's democratizing Trinidad and Tobago in and of itself. So it boosts the national capacity for resilience.
The development of productive capital is another key element, as outlined by Dr. James, for Tobago to become economically strong. He stressed there needs to be a team effort.
If we want to talk about resilience at all, and if we want to talk about Tobago's contribution to national resilience, Trinidad and Tobago needs to diversify its economy, and Tobago is a key plank of that diversification agenda.
As Dr. Pemberton and Dr. James explained, there is much revision and adjustment to take place. But Tobago's history and economic vision make it clear that we have the ability and determination to become stronger. I am Caricia Douglas for TTT News, and this has been 60 Years of Resilience.
This feature was powered by the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, at the forefront of energy